This type of RPGs has been gaining popularity on mobile over the years and the games just keep on getting better. Hey warriors, I'm Ben and today on Android Gamespot we will count down my picks for the top 10 side-scrolling RPGs on mobile. For this list, I'll be looking at both turn-based and action RPGs, and before we begin, I make new videos every week, so be sure to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to get notified about my latest videos. And one last thing, for those of you on Instagram, don't forget to give me a follow. Number 10, Epic 7. As you probably noticed, Epic 7 is a free-to-play 2D RPG available on the iOS and Android platforms. You can control a variety of characters as you explore the game's world through its adventure mode, and being a huge anime fan, I especially enjoyed the anime cutscenes that cover both the story and the special attacks for each character. Also, you should note that this game has very few loading screens, which makes it kinda stand out from other mobile RPGs. If you're familiar with the gacha system where you can randomly summon heroes to join your party, you would be right at home here. Combat-wise, you move along a side-scrolling map, battling monsters and bosses in a turn-based system and with a variety of skills at your disposal. You can summon powerful guardians using souls you can get by using each character's skills. The souls can also boost your team's attacks. The game also features a sanctuary which generates in-game currency, a summoning feature that allows rerolls, map exploration, character equipment and more. Number 9 is Chrono Blade, and I don't know if many people know about Chrono Blade, which makes it an underrated game in my opinion. This is in fact a gorgeous looking big action brawler RPG that packs a punch. You get to choose from 4 characters and you are humanity's last hope in a war against evil robot aliens. So what are you going to do? You're going to punch, kick and slash them in the face until they fall over. The level systems work similar to the Street of Rage and Golden Axe games. Special shout out to all the retro gaming fans watching this. Chrono Blade offers a familiar recipe when it comes to 2D hack and slash games, but with some grip, as you will require some skills to move on the levels without getting a hit. Also bear in mind that unless you're going to spend real money, you're gonna have to grind on the side. Thankfully, it's fun and the ability to upgrade your character's gear, weapons and skills makes it all the while worth it. Dark Sword is our number 8 and it took the mobile gaming world by storm when it first came out in 2016. And I gotta say that it stood the test of time as it is still loads of fun to play today. It looks nice with its simplistic silhouette style, it has that gloominess of Dark Souls if you're familiar, and the gameplay is dead simple. You play as a knight with a big sword and a fancy armor, and you're to beat out of all the dead zombies and lurking things that comes at you. They start looking all the same after you're a few levels deep, so that's a shame, and you never know how much health an enemy has since there's no health bar displayed. Controls wise, the combat is smooth, a little too simplistic if you ask me. You can move left and right, jump and dodge, and the other buttons are weapon dependent, as some swords have 5 buttons and some others 3. Each sword comes with special abilities which comes with nice animations and plenty of power to get you out of a tough situation. The RPG part is limited to the armory, so at the end of each stage you might earn some loot like ammo, rings, magic stones, helmets and so on, and it's in the armory where you can check them out, equip, upgrade or sell them. Dark Sword is at its core a casual time killer rather than a deep RPG, and it's playable offline for those of you interested. Also, a sequel just came out recently, so if that seemed like something for you, make sure to check one out, the other, or both. Number 7 is Arcane Soul, and it's a side-scrolling dungeon crawler with an anime design and a surprising level of character customization. Visually, there are a total of 4 environment types you play on throughout the game, one for each act, and each act contains 5 levels. There are a handful of enemy types, but they tend to stick around for a few levels while getting stronger. Gameplay wise, Arcane Soul is a pretty standard hack and slash dungeon crawler. You have up to 6 skills with 3 when you start and the rest that you can unlock with coins. There's also a few combos you can unlock and execute by performing actions in a certain order. Frenzy mode is also available, and once it's activated, your HP and MP gets restored faster and you can deliver more powerful attacks. The game's replay value is pretty good too, as there are 3 characters to play with, each with a different ending, and you're just constantly unlocking something new that it doesn't get boring or grindy-ish by any means. Definitely worth a try. Number 6 is Stickman Legends. It could be said that Stickman Legends is the direct nemesis of Dark Sword, and I would most definitely agree with that. Stickman Legends is a single-player action RPG developed and published by Zika Studios. Hope I'm saying it right. The overall character and environment design looks awesome and has more depths than Dark Sword. You play as the Chosen One, who are a master at using swords, guns, shurikens, magic, and hammers. Phew, that's really a lot of mastering. There are a few characters or shadow fighters to choose from, and these work like classes, as each has its specialty and is best suitable for a particular world or enemy type. Lots of items and skills to collect, good soundtrack, and just like its nemesis, it's playable offline. Number 5 is Postknight, and in 2015 I've played a game called Tiny Guardians on my first channel, and it was surprisingly fun. Loved the art style, and I'll leave a link in the description down below if you wanna check it out. But the reason I'm saying this is that Postknight was made by the same developers, and I've met them in a gaming convention when I first heard about the game. Postknight is an adorable and engaging side-scrolling RPG that is designed for short play sessions, making it great to play on the go. Having said that, I did have longer sessions and the game works great that way too. There's a ton of loot, equipment, and levels to unlock, giving this constant feel of progress which many mobile RPGs lack. Also, the energy meter is very generous, and I never had downtime. Of course, no game is perfect, and Postknight does suffer from a bit of repetitiveness, and the dialogue along with the story feels somewhat one-dimensional. Tiny hiccups though, as the good outweighs the bad by far, so give it a go if you haven't yet. Number 4 is Grimvalor. From the people who brought us Swordigo comes Grimvalor, a 2D hack-and-slash platformer out in 2019 with fast-paced combat and plenty of dungeons to explore in this dark fantasy setting. The demo takes between 1 to 2 hours to complete before you can either choose to unlock the full game, which costs $6.99, a little pricier than say Icey, which is another awesome hack-and-slash platformer, but I gotta say that it's absolutely worth every cent. The RPG mechanics add another layer that keeps you playing, as you'll be on the tail of that next level, that next upgrade, or that next item until you finish the game and beyond. The story is the one thing that isn't really up to the standards of everything else in the game, but the graphics are gorgeous. The gameplay mechanics are some of the best I've seen in the genre, and it just works together so well. Number 3, Icey. For those of us playing on Android, we didn't get the release of Dust: An Elysian Tale, which is a fantastic side-scrolling action RPG, but we did get Icey, and Icey is good, really good. As with most side-scrolling hack-and-slash games, you get to run left and right, jump and dodge and whatnot, but the combat in Icey, holy the combat is good. Not only is some of the best combat in any game on mobile, but I'm willing to take it one step further, and I'm aware that's gonna open the flood from the YouTube gates of trolls. It's some of the best combat system in any game, all platforms combined. Yes, I said it. It's fast-paced and incredibly satisfying to slash through your enemies once you learn how to fight and get a few cool moves upgraded. I could just stop right here and it's enough to make the game worth its $2.99 price tag. But no, I won't, because there's more. And without spoiling much, there's a narrator that narrates where you should go next, but you can choose to defy it, and some really interesting things happen when you do. Multiple pathways and the lines between the game world and the real world just start to blur in a really clever way. Bonus tip for the Metal Gear fans out there, Think of Psycho Mantis when he was reading your memory card, and I'll leave it at that. Seriously, go play Icey. Number 2 is Sdorica Mirage, originally named Sdorica Sunset, and if you know why the name changed, or if I'm saying it correctly, drop it in the comments below. Sdorica Mirage brings in a mix of ideas into a side-scrolling match-stuff RPG that has a gorgeous anime art style that just screams quality. You control a party of fighters and you need to make your way through a world in turmoil. These fighters perform different attacks based on the color of the gems you matched, and it's a little more deep than it sounds. There's actually a decent amount of strategy involved here. You need to choose which creatures to attack, and matches of different types perform different moves. Mirage is a time turn based RPG as the counters show you when your enemies are about to attack, and managing the time of your attacks, healing and so on is the key to success. Also, there's a bunch of tutorials to get you all set up, and they're done in an interesting way. And to me personally, this game has the best tutorials on mobile, period. Sdorica Mirage is a gorgeous game. It's shiny in all of the right ways, well written, and the characters' design are spot on. The game achieves everything it sets out to do really well, and you must play it to really understand. And we're almost at the champion of this list, but quickly, here are some honorable mentions. Number 1 is Another Eden. From the very first moments of the game, you're awoken by a female character on the day of a festival in your small town and you're transported back in time. Sounds familiar? Yep. And shout out to all the Chrono Triggers fans out there, and the similarities don't end there. Later in the game, you will befriend a frog knight named Cyrus. Another Eden is a 2D side-scrolling RPG with amazing graphics, very few loading screens, great character and scenery design, and a fantastic soundtrack. The combat system is turn-based and there's no auto battle. Yeah, crazy, right? You play with a party of 4 with 2 extra in reserve that you can switch them out at any point in battle, which triggers a small buff and allows the characters in reserve to regenerate HP and MP. A few hours in, you will unlock another force, which once filled up allows you to stop time and put a bunch of combo attacks that gets unleashed when the time is up. The story is also really good and definitely worth playing through, and most importantly, Another Eden is a free-to-play JRPG that has no energy system, no daily missions or any other F2P trap. Needless to say, it deserves a spot on your phones and tablets. And that sums up the top 10 side-scrolling RPGs on mobile. Which is your favorite? And do you agree with the list? Let's continue the discussion in the comments down below. Of course, your likes are very much appreciated, and subscribing is a good idea if you haven't yet, as I make new videos like this every week. Also, I have a Patreon page where you can get extra content and cool rewards like having your name in the videos for as little as $1. Once again, I'm Ben, thank you warriors for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Android Gamespot. Stay epic!